Testing, testing. Good evening, Doug C., Andrew, John, Albert. You guys hear me? Perfect, perfect. Golf ball rollback. Hey, John. So the golf ball rollback, uh, man, I'm telling you, I have a video planned and it will be part of the golf ball rollback. I know I'm pretty late to the parade on that one, late to the party, but I've got a video planned for it, and I feel like it's going to be a very labor intensive video. Like it's a kind of a different take on the rollback. So I'm planning on working on that video, and it may take a little while because it's going to be a big one. I think it's going to be a surprise. It may not be like a super popular video, but it's a video I want to do, and it's going to take a lot of work. Doug C. Actually, I think I was on Instagram maybe, and I saw an ad pop up on the irons, so I did see that. That kind of came out of nowhere too. I didn't even know they planned on making any clubs. So guys, this may not be like a super long live. You I planned on doing some surprise lives, and I don't think I did. I think this is probably the first live I've done in about 3 weeks, probably. Um, and just filming with every filming, editing, it's just kind of easier to just say, "Oh, I got a little time, let's go live." So that's why I'm here. And the main purpose is just to get you guys feedback on videos that you like, videos you don't like, videos that you want to see more of, um, what I'm doing right, maybe what I'm doing wrong. So I guess I have a whole notebook full of ideas and videos that I have planned, and maybe I'm looking for a little bit more inspiration from you guys. Andrew Wolf, does low compression golf balls help? That's kind of a short hitter. Um, that's a tough question, but like in general, I don't think if you're talking about distance wise, in general, I do not think low compression balls you're going to like gain distance from hitting low compression balls. If so, it would be uh, marginal, just from my experience. But that's not a bad idea to do a test on that. And you might have just gave me a good video idea, Andrew. Low compression balls. That's a good one. I'll do that. So I've been on the live 5 minutes and I already have an idea for a video. So that's what I was hoping for. Kind of gets a little bit of inspiration from you guys. So if you guys have any questions, any ideas, just shoot them out. Otherwise, I'm just going to start rambling. So there you go, Albert. I appreciate that. And I don't know, some of you guys may have seen my community post 60-yard bunker shot. Okay, John. That's a good one, John, actually, because that's a shot I never get. So maybe I should go do a 60-yard bunker shot and, might help me in case I get one. So, and I'm trying to remember. Albert was the golf ball rollback. And who said the low compression balls? That was Andrew Wolf. Okay. Somebody mentioned vice irons. I don't know if I'd get to do that, but I might as well try. You guys are on a roll. There's only nine. I think there's only 9 people in the chat, and I've got 4 ideas in 7 minutes. So that's awesome. Do a video 9. What was that, Albert? 9F? What's that? I'm missing something. Hey, Uncle Charles. Andrew Wolf. Cleveland Halo. Albert, I'm not sure. I might have missed something there. A video on 9F. Three worst courses. No, Albert, I'm not going to do that. I don't even want to go play them. 3 worst courses. Okay. The point on the Albert said, does low compression golf balls help or no? Albert says you like the ball and equipment reviews. So guys, I'm going to tell you, that's partly what made me go on this live. You may have seen the community post. Now, at most I do like a golf ball review, maybe 2 a month, maybe 2 or 3 a month generally. But Snell was nice enough to send me all 3 of their balls, so I decided let's do a week where we do Snell reviews. And what spurred, I think, this live on is, I would say it kind of bothered me just a little bit. There was someone saying how he doesn't, and I put a community post like, stop doing golf ball reviews. Like, he doesn't like the golf ball reviews. He only likes matches. And I said, this channel basically was started from doing golf ball reviews. And I like doing golf ball reviews. And I think a lot of you guys like the golf ball reviews. And that brings in new subscribers, new viewers. So I'm not going to stop doing golf ball reviews. I'm still going to do golf vlogs, matches, so on and so forth. I'm still going to do what you guys like, but I'm also part of that's going to be golf ball reviews. So I just wanted to kind of get you guys' opinions on some of the videos, and also wanted to hear that there are people out there that like the golf ball reviews. Doug C, that's funny you say that you played Cinder Ridge last Saturday. Okay, so today is what is today? Saturday. I'm trying to think of what day it was. I think I played Cinder Ridge on Wednesday. Wednesday, somewhere around there. Wednesday, third, I can't remember. But I played 9 holes at Cinder Ridge, and it was in great shape. It's in great shape. That's a golf blog that I'll release on. I don't know if that'll be this upcoming Monday or next Monday. And I'm not sure about a subscriber Sunday for tomorrow. Again, I did all those ball reviews and trying to get a little inspiration from this chat here. Okay, I'm trying to, let's see. Andrew Wolf says irons. Testa Cleveland Halo irons. Uncle Charles is at work. You're at work? You're in your lunch break? Doug C, you ever go through a spell like this, or should I just pick up pickleball? Golf could be challenging. Thank you, Uncle Charles. Thank you. John Adams will definitely be able to tell you that. With 7 was being so powerful, I see a high wood comparison since it looks easier to hit. That's another one, Brian, that I should be able to do that video coming pretty quickly. Although I don't have anything filmed for tomorrow, but like I said, I still want to get a video out tomorrow for Subscriber Sunday. 7 wood versus high wood, which is a challenge because we know a video will take a while to film and 4 or 5 hours editing at least. 7 wood versus high wood, Brian, that's a good one. 770 irons and be okay. What is that? 770? Is that Titleist 770 irons? I'm not sure which irons you're talking about. Doug C, I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you. We will chat with you next time. I got your idea for Vice irons, and I'll reach out to Vice. You never know. Maybe they'll send me some irons or demo, or maybe they want to promote since they're just coming out with them. Maybe they will send me some out to test. Okay. Well, Uncle Charles, I really appreciate that. I appreciate you watching. I haven't seen your name before, so I'm thinking you might be a fairly new subscriber. But I really appreciate it. Let me know what videos you like, or do you like most of them? I try my best, no matter what the video, no matter what the topic. I try my best to keep it entertaining. Just so you guys know, I'm just writing down these ideas. When I see it's a good video idea, I'm writing them down. TaylorMade 770. I've never tried to hit those clubs. Uh, I'm gonna guess I can. It's just a matter of how well, but I don't know. Maybe I can find someone who plays those clubs or something close to them. I'm just gonna write that down, Uncle Charles, just in case. The answer is yes. I can play them. It's just a matter of, again, how well. Hey EJ, how's he doing, buddy? Well, this wasn't planned, EJ. I just been on for 16 minutes, and I just wanted to check in with everybody and get some ideas, get a little inspiration from the audience. You guys have better ideas than I have most of the time, so uh, makes it pretty. You guys make my job easy sometimes. So, all right, Andrew, you got it, buddy. Thank you for checking in, and I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. Lots of videos on the way. Well, JL White Cotton, I wish I knew the actual performers of those songs, but it's just different videos or different music that I'm able to pick up. The names are, if you look in the description, I think it will have the name of the artist in the description, but I don't personally know them. I wish I did. Ping I2. You know, the only Ping club I've ever played, I think it was like a Ping G2 driver. It was like, I don't know when the G2 driver came out. John Adams may know that. I think I played with John Adams when I was playing that Ping G2 driver. So it was probably, the G2 probably came out 20 years ago. So 20, 25 years ago. So that's the only Ping club I've ever played with outside of a putter. My first nice putter was a Ping Pal 2 putter I bought, I think maybe my junior year of high school. We were playing a match and I liked this putter, and it was like, I don't know, $50 in the pro shop, and I got it. Ping Pal 2. And I still have that putter. Very good, EJ. That's a good one, Brian. I do have a couple videos on lag putting, but I think I want to redo them. That was kind of before I did went left hand low, and I think left hand low has improved my putting. And there's another little change that I've made to my putting recently that I think may help. Prime 2.0. Very good. And it's not that pricey though. So there you go. And the thing about those Blue Ultra 2 is they're new, so you couldn't even get them from the from Golf Ball Planet yet because they're new, so nobody's lost them yet. Okay, very good, EJ. Nico, hello, hello. That's a good idea, John. I did a little video with some old clubs for like the Halloween special, but I need to do a side by side would be good. I think I did one, but that was a year and a half ago. I wouldn't even want anybody to look at that video. Yeah, John, that's a good one, and I would do that outside and inside, and that might be a good one for Subscriber Sunday. I'm gonna try to pick a video from one of these ideas that you guys give me on this live, and I'm gonna try to do that for tomorrow for Subscriber Sunday. So it will be like whichever one is kind of a very succinct, shorter video. No, I have not, Uncle Charles. I have never been to Atlanta ever. Titleist DC Irons back in 97 to 2003. Yes, I played Titleist DC Irons through college. So 96, 96, 97, something like that. I actually bought a set of used Titleist DC irons from my golf coach for $180. And that was probably, you know, I probably bought those, I don't know, 93, 94, somewhere in there. I bought them from him. And yeah, I played them for a while. I can't remember even when I switched from those irons. I probably went from Titleist DC. I don't remember playing Callaway. I may went right from those to the Strixon irons. My first set of irons, Albert, was some set I wouldn't even know the name of them. You know, just some kind of off-brand set. I do know, like, when I was, I don't know, somewhere in high school, I used to hit a Northwestern 1-iron, but that wasn't my first set. My first set it was weird. It wasn't even, it was some shaft. It was like aluminum shafts or something in my clubs. Like somebody just made these clubs together after. It was very strange. Like I remember playing in practice in high school, like my freshman year, and I had a 3-wood, and I take the club back, and it like the shaft just snapped, and it was just wiggling behind me. So just some no-name clubs. So guys, I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite videos that the video on the mental game, that ended up being one of my favorite videos, maybe my favorite video. Bodacious pops in with the very good question. So Bodacious, I'm trying not to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm doing a what's in the bag very soon because I made some changes. I made quite a few changes. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag this evening. I don't even know if John Adams knows. John, I was playing the match. I basically switched my bag over the last, I've played about 5 or 6 times with some new equipment. And I wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision. And I didn't talk to him, but just earlier, I forgot who mentioned Cinder Ridge. Who mentioned Cinder Ridge? Can't remember. But Cinder Ridge was about less than a week ago. I played out there, and when I played that 9, that was kind of like the final decision. I'm like, yeah, these clubs, this is what I'm gonna use. The driver, it's very strange. Like the driver is straighter than I played 10 holes, no, like 13 holes yesterday. And the driver, I'm hitting it straighter than ever. I'm hitting straighter than I hit my other driver, which is amazing because the other driver I hit pretty darn straight. So I played 13 holes. I had a buddy that was in town. We played 13 holes. I filmed the last 9 holes. I think it was funny that once I turned the camera on, we're playing together. I turned the camera on and I just started making pars. And I get through 7 holes and he has to leave. And I'm hitting like every fairway. And then he leaves and I go play the last 2 holes by myself and I missed both fairways. Like I hit one right to the right behind a tree. And then I think the last one I hooked it a little left of the fairway. But while he was there, I hit every fairway, pretty much down the middle. Yeah, John, I remember that too. And when I was at Cinder Ridge, when I finished, I talked to the lady at the that was in the pro shop, and we talked about that and some other things. And she asked me to send her the link to the video when I get that done. So they were nice. They were really nice there. Advice on hitting a 3-wood. That's a good one. That's a good one, Albert. Um, First of all, I switched to a 5-wood because a 3-wood is hard to hit. Now I can make a video on that. I probably have already. But my question to you, Albert, I have a question. What is your do you know what either your carry distance is with your driver or your club head speed with your driver? I agree with that, John. That's your carry distance, Albert, or your total distance? Bodacious, you will break 90 this season. You got my word. You will break 90 this season. Go back and watch that mental game video. Make sure you got that stuff down. I think if you take the core strategy videos with the mental game video that I did, like those are 2 awesome videos. If you take all that in, that's going to be pretty good. Old guy plays bass. Very good. Evening. So Albert, so your total was 230. So that means your carry distance is right there with mine. My carry distance has gone down. I plan on I don't want to like start I was thinking of actually doing a video series on picking up some distance again for me because I did speed training and it really didn't work until I started adding weights and fitness into it. And I lost that distance because I stopped lifting. I think the key for me and some people like me is actually the strength more than the speed training. So But with all that being said, Albert, right now you and I are at about the same distance. My carry distance is around 210. Okay. When I was doing the speed training and lifting and all of that, I got it up to where it would be like 225. So that means the thing I don't know is how efficient your swing is. Um, I hit the ball pretty solid with good efficiency. So my swing speed is about 90 miles an hour. And with that, I get a total distance of 230. Now, if you're not as efficient, you could be swinging at 95 or 96 or 98 miles an hour and only be hitting at 230 or maybe 100 miles an hour. So that's part of it. But the big thing I'm going to say as I'm rambling around this point is at a total distance of 230, 3-wood may not have enough loft for you. Okay. Like it is very hard to hit a 3-wood at the speed that I'm swinging. I can hit the 3-wood, but it's just not smart. It's the same reason I use game improvement clubs. Like why work so hard when you can get a little bit of help. So with all that being said, I took the 3-wood out. I went to the 5-wood. I plan on getting a 5-wood that's adjustable that I can make into a 4-wood. And you know, because you've seen videos with Tom hits it probably 15 to 20 yards further than me. And Tom went away from a 3-wood in favor of a 4-wood before I did. So I'm giving you a long explanation, but the short explanation is you may just not hit it far enough to get the benefits of hitting a 3-wood to where it's just a hard club to hit, to launch it properly. There you go, Bodacious. So Albert, so now we're talking, Albert. Do you have a 5-wood in your bag? Or a 7-wood or 4-wood, or well, you wouldn't have a 4-wood if you got a 3-wood, but do you have a 5-wood or a 7-wood? Three iron? Okay, how do you hit the 3-iron? So John Adams, perfect 190 yards. Okay. So, okay. So I'm going to guess, Albert. Now I'm just guessing. All right. There you go. Okay. So that's why I was calling on John Adams, right? So John Adams was in this video, the 2v2 video, and he hit a shot on the 7th hole. We were about 185 yards from the pin, and he hits this towering hybrid straight up in the air, comes down 20 feet from the hole, like just straight out of the sky. No release, nothing. Like he just said there, he got rid of the 3-iron, 4-iron, 5-iron, replaced them all with hybrids. He couldn't hit that shot with a 4-iron. He definitely couldn't hit that shot with a 3-iron. So I'm going to guess, Albert, so you're saying perfect 190 yards. You're probably right. But I'm guessing that 3-iron is releasing on you, which is fine if you're playing courses where you can bounce it up. But at the speed that you have, it would be hard to envision you're hitting that 3-iron that's carrying a bunker, stopping on the green. That's firm. So anyway, that's all. We're not talking about 3-iron. Um, I'm just saying that's a tough club. That would be a tough club. When you hit it, think about if you're coming out of the rough. Think about if you have to carry a bunker. Think about if you have to carry water and hold the green. And if you get in those situations, just start to pay attention to how that ball is reacting. Is it hitting the green and stopping? Is it hitting and rolling into a back bunker, going over the green? Um, those shots are just tougher, to where if I've got that shot with a four hybrid, I have a problem. With the four iron, I would have a problem. But anyway, that's the long version. The short version is you may need a 4 wood, you may need a 5 wood, you may need one of them. You know, it varies, but a good set, could be. I mean, a lot of people know, viewers know I use the high wood. If you didn't get a high wood, um, just guessing, like driver, 4 wood, 7 wood could possibly be a good clubs for you. Those are all possibilities, but I'm not saying get rid of your 3 iron. If you like the way you hit it, then keep hitting it. There you go. Yeah, because yes, old guy plays bass. Yes, because those uh those are 16 and a half degrees. So those are basically 4 woods. Paul, that you may have seen Paul on the channel some. Paul hits that same club, and it's 16 and a half degrees. So it's basically a 4 wood with a. It may be a little bit longer than a 4 wood, but it's got the loft of a 4 wood. Three was just tough. It's just, and to me, it's just such a one-dimensional club. Like, how often are you going to be able to hit a 3 wood out of the rough? Also, unless it's sitting up. All right, guys, I got a dozen ideas so far from this chat, so I appreciate that. It's pretty easy, isn't it, John? To be honest, like, I mean, not easy, but easier, easier than looking down at a 4 iron. Just knowing that that ball is going to hit the green and take off, or you just think about that same shot you're talking about off of 7, and if that green is firm and you have to hit that same shot with a 4 iron instead of a 4 hybrid, that ball is going to release to the back fringe, if not to the back rough. Well, Avril, all I can say is maybe look at when I do this. I'm going to do the what's in the bag soon because I made some club changes. Just look at the club setup, but driver, I just don't know many people now that would be a good setup for them. Driver, 3 wood, 3 iron. I mean, unless you're playing links golf all the time to where the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour and you're trying to keep everything low. Otherwise, that's just setup that's just not ideal. It's the kind of setup that John Adams probably had before he went to the hybrids too. Every time you hit that club too, it's not, you're not going to get any more confidence from that. From you say you seem to top it. I really would like to see you try a 5 wood. So guys, I've got some, I talked to Tom, texted me. There's a nice course up in a little bit north of where we are, maybe an hour north, that we're going to get to film at and have a match. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to play, I believe we're going to play the assistant pro at that course and a former teammate of his. So I think they were like two players that just recently graduated from Western Illinois University, a division school here in Illinois, and I think we're going to play a match against those two. So I think it'll be fun. Yep, you're right, John. And what about the misses? I mean, the misses are so much worse with the 3 wood. Okay. So old guy plays bass, you're hitting that 3 wood mainly off the tee then, probably. Yeah, yes, my Petaway life, yes, I have. Um, yes, I have thought about hosting a tournament, and I thought it would be a fun idea, and maybe do like a 2v2, like just a 2-person scramble. Pair if you've got viewers that don't have a partner, could pair them up with another viewer. I did think about doing that, and it may not happen this summer, or this fall, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll do a small one for the first time. But it would be in the Chicagoland area. So are you even in the Chicagoland area? Southeast Wisconsin. So Bodacious, how far is that from Racine? Because I think Racine would be southeast Wisconsin, wouldn't it be? I believe. About an hour north of Racine. Okay. So Racine is like really south. I know I played a course. I can't remember the name of the course, but I know I played a course in Racine, Florida. Okay. So what courses you play around there, Bodacious? So by the way, where is everybody that's in the chat now? Where are you guys located? I know John Adams, I know where you're located. Bodacious in southeast Wisconsin, 10 miles north of Denver. Okay. Old Hickory. Yeah, I don't know those. No, yeah. Pittsburgh. Okay. Bradley. What's up, Bradley? Good to see you. So, Bradley, you remember that course I played? What was the name of the course I filmed last year out there? Um, Help me if you can remember it, Bradley. I can't remember the name of that course. I think it was close to Racine. Illinois, Uncle Charles. I keep saying Uncle Charles. I feel like you're really my uncle now, man. You're probably younger than me. Um, oh, a RV trip. That would be cool. That would be cool. I've got like, I'm telling you, my Petaway life, I've got like four people, like a neighbor, uh, old friend. I had like four people that my old golf coach that invite me to Florida like every year to stay with them. Like some of them have second homes there, some of them just live there now. And I have not gone to Florida. I went to Florida one time my sophomore year of college. Our nationals was at the TPC, um, um, was on the Valley course at the TPC at Sawgrass, but we got to play the stadium course. I played it one time for $50 back in college. Um, but anyway, that's the only time I ever been to Florida. Back in the late 80s. Okay. So Bradley, do you remember that course? Gosh, I cannot remember the name of that course that I played. I filmed the video there uh, last year, tournament that I played in, but I can't remember the name of the course. I think it was close to Racine. So Bodacious, I played like um, some courses up there. I forgot which ones. I think they like you play. Where is it at? Where there's three courses. You've got the Trevino, the player, and I don't know if it's the Nicholas course. Trevino, player, and a Palmer course. They have three courses there. I played all three of those. Um, I played a course called the Bog in Milwaukee, or no, not in Milwaukee. The Bog. I played a course called the Brute. The Brute, the Bog. I played quite a few courses in Milwaukee. Yes, no doubt about it. Yeah, I'm going to probably go up there and play, get a couple more rounds in up that way. Hmm. Long, lots of fun. Well, guys, I got about 13 content ideas so far, which is pretty awesome. I've got some matches coming up. I've got I'm thinking about there's a local tournament that's like a par three shootout, and I've been asked to play with Tom, so I'm thinking that hopefully Tom and I can play in that and film that also. That'll be cool. Um, we've got to get our third match in to break that tie of the 2v2 that you guys have seen. So I got to get that in. Hope to do that sometime later this month. By now, normally someone has given me a golf ball review, so we've, we've got any of those. We talked about Vice clubs, which shocked me, shocked the world, I think. Did anyone know that Vice was coming out with clubs before this announcement that just happened? No, you know what? That's a good one. I've that always comes up too. Every live someone mentions the lab putter. And the funny thing is I played a tournament with this gentleman, and he was putting with a lab putter, and during the round he said it was like he had like three of them. He loves them. And he says he has three. So it did cross my mind, like maybe I should just borrow his three putters and make a video with them. Yeah, John, I just saw it on Instagram, and somebody else mentioned it in the chat earlier, and I was shocked when I saw it. I'm looking at it now. Yep. Launch day was 3 days ago, apparently. I don't know if you guys can see that, but well, yeah, you can. Four irons and putters, wedges. It's kind of amazing. So I may, it won't hurt to reach out to them. You never know. They do look nice. Oh, film my petaway life. That's funny. So so the simulator courses that I have, I've got this. It's not a really nice one. It's kind of, I think it's called fitness golf, and the only course on there that I recognize that I've played is a course called Highlands of Elgin. Highlands of Elgin, and it's on the simulator, and that might not be a bad idea. Play it on the simulator, and then go play it. One thing I've seen is, I've noticed is the the wedge videos, the wedge week I did in the winter kind of surprised me because that actually did get people tuning in and they stayed and watched it. Um, but most of the time when I do stuff indoors, you get most of the people that tune off. So it was so anyway, it's hard to get do a simulator video, and that's interesting for people, I think. But it might not be a bad idea to give it a try. Well, John, the problem with that is you're too tall. And what I mean by that, like Bodacious said, I wish I had the ceiling height for a sim. So Bodacious, I'm interested now. How tall are you? And John, you are, I don't know, 5'10", 5'6"ish. Wow, okay. So you do have short ceilings then. Well, in my house, my ceilings are too short for a sim. 5'11", yeah. Yeah, you do. So Paul, John, you know Paul. Paul is around 5'11", I think. And when he's come over, he didn't come over this past winter, but when he's come over, I think he hit the ceiling with a four hybrid. And it tells you about my swing arc. I can swing driver in there with no problem, and he nicked the ceiling with the four hybrid. So then we played like there's a par three course on the sim. We played a little par three course. So Bradley, that's a good question. I'm not ignoring your question. That's a good question. Um, I mentioned earlier that I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I want to do a what's in the bag over the next within the next week or two, because I did make some changes. And when I played Cinder Ridge on, I missed, I forget the date, but when I played Cinder Ridge, I think it was like on Thursday or Wednesday, whatever. I played 9 holes there, and it was kind of like the final test of the equipment that I was playing. I was, I wanted to make sure, and when I went out there, I'm like, this is it. This is staying in the bag. So there are changes, and within a week or two, you're going to see that video. So any of the videos recently you guys enjoy more than others? Just kind of want to make sure I got a grasp on what I'm doing right, what you guys are liking. Phillips Park in Aurora. I probably played it in high school. I can't remember. I can't remember that course at all, but I know I've played it. But again, it's been a long time. I haven't played any. I can't remember any courses in Aurora that I played like recently. Most of the tournaments and stuff I played have been like up courses up north. Sim course or real course? Yeah, that's the only problem I pet away life with that is that the putting on the sim course and even the short game in general, um, like the sim I use, that like the putting is never realistic. The sim I use, I would have to put like automatic, like auto complete, and what it does is, if you have a sloping 40-foot putt or 50-foot putt, it might give you 3 putts. If you got a straight 20-footer, it may give you 2 putts. If you hit it 3 feet, it may give you a 1 putt. So it just kind of estimates based on whatever algorithm it has. So that's the only problem with it. You can't really putt on it. I think they made some high-end sims now that you can putt on, but it's tough. And the short game is tough even. But I think that's a good video idea. I think I can make that video happen. So one thing I found, guys, that I don't know how I didn't know about this, but they make these, I think these things called like gorilla pods. You guys, somebody probably knew this that I didn't know, but I didn't know. They make they're called gorilla pods. And they're like rubber bendable legs, and you can use them to bend around like for a tripod basically, and like bend it around a golf cart, bend it around the things on your push cart, whatever. And you can also get like these clamps, same thing. So I didn't even know about these things, but I just recently found them, and I'm like, I'm going to order some of these because now that makes it easier. Like we talked about in another live, how it's such a difficult thing to go to a golf tournament and film the tournament when I'm fooling around with a tripod, so on and so forth. But if I'm in a cart or on a push cart with this, I could just put the push cart right behind me and just go up and hit the shot and not have to deal with a tripod. Just hit record on the camera because the camera's attached to this clamp or legs. So I think that's going to make it easier to film tournaments or to film just going to a random golf course, because that's one thing I worry about. Like I think someone has said something about how it always looks like the course is empty when I film, because I literally have to try to find times to where there's not a lot of people around. So I'll go film at, like, even when I went to Cinder Ridge, it was a day where literally it was a storm brewing. So I went out there because I knew it wouldn't be a lot of people and I thought the storm may miss. And it was 6 o'clock in the evening. So I literally have to like plan times like that. That's why I did a lot of videos when it was 39 degrees. So anyway, with this, it can make it a little bit easier to film when other people are around. Brian, you know what, Brian? You know, you really made my day with that comment because that's the idea. You know, I do so much content, and the idea is for, like, if you like bar reviews, you can watch those. If you like club reviews, you can watch those. If you like the golf blogs, you can watch those. Um, you know, club reviews, I do those when I have products that I can review. Um, you know, whatever. I just think a review. I try to do a review once a week, so I think it's a pretty good mix. You know, the viewer that, like I mentioned earlier, that kind of bothered me a little bit, that said he didn't like the bar reviews, like he wanted more matches. But you guys understand, I think, that, I mean, I can't do 2 or 3 matches a week. Like, it's when you, I just want to, I don't want to ramble here, but just think what went into that match, the 2v2 match. You have people that have to take vacation day. You have somebody else that has to take a half a day of work. You have to get 4 people scheduled to coincide to film this. Then you have to have a day to where you can actually get on the course to where you're not interrupting play, so on and so forth. It's just not easy. The logistics of a match is just not easy. And that match, the front nine edit was probably 14 hours. The back nine edit was probably 12 hours. So it's just a lot that goes on to getting a match, especially a 2v2. Those are a lot of shots. Um, Whereas a ball review, you know, I've done them so often, and you know, I go play 4 holes, I feel the ball, hit some shots. You know, literally, I can go out there and do that in the evening in 45 minutes to an hour, and then edit in about 3 hours. So it's just a lot easier to do that. So I can't do 2 or 3 matches a week, I guess is the point. Um, and the other point was thank you, Brian, for that comment, because that is, again, the idea, trying to give something for everyone. Yes, John, I that's a good one, and I have an idea for that. I have an idea for that, John, because when I played the qualifier at the Mid Am, I hit a few drives that really were uncharacteristic and shockingly shockingly bad. So it concerned me. So I looked at some things that I was doing, and I made a change. I actually filmed a video like that same day, later in the evening, and I haven't released that video yet. And it was kind of, the point of it was kind of what you're saying about making a swing change, and how difficult it is to know whether you made a change or not. Well, Petaway Life, it's a SkyTrack Opti shot. I had an Opti shot too, actually. Thank you, Bodacious. Watch, I'm confused. Watch what in between shots, Bradley? What are you talking about? Bradley, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. The thing I was saying was it wasn't about watching, it was basically something to hold the tripod or hold the camera instead of a tripod that clamped onto the golf cart. Unless we're talking about something else. Oh no, you remember? I remember last year, Bradley. I filmed 3 tournaments that I played in. Yeah, some of them you can film in, like the Chicago district competitions. I don't film in like the big qualifiers and stuff like that, but some of the local tournaments. And matter of fact, one of the tours that I play on, they gave me permission to film every event because they want me to film, and they actually want me to kind of promote the tour also. And I will be doing a video that they they wanted me to do, and I think you guys would like to see it too, on slow play. I planned on having that video done already, but there's been so much rain, and that the tour, most of that tour, there are a lot of older guys, so most of them ride carts. So I wanted to film the slow play video based on carts, based on using carts. And it was so much rain every time I was planning on filming the video, like carts weren't allowed on golf courses. So okay, Bodacious Golf Forever system. That is interesting. I don't know if it's Golf Forever or Golf for Life. One of those companies. I don't think that's them. One of those companies either emailed me or I emailed. He said something about they were changing something for use with Android, and he was going to give me something. I was going to start using it, trying it, because this goes back into what I was saying earlier, that matter of fact, when I was filming yesterday, I was talking to my buddy about this, my playing partner about this. Speed training. You guys watched some of the speed training videos from last year. I got limited gains from speed training. I think some people, like me, need more strength training to pick up distance. Um, so that's what you're talking about. I think the Golf Forever system. Um, anyway, Golf Forever, Golf for Life. I'll have to check the email, but I have not tried them. But I am. Matter of fact, I'm going to reach out to that guy again and see if I can get that going. I'll be your guinea pig. My Petaway Life. That is the sad truth, or here is the sad truth. Hey, Jock, how you doing, bud? Yeah, I've been on for a little over an hour, but I just it was a surprise live again. Just trying to get some thoughts and some inspiration for some future videos. And I got about 14, 15 ideas. So I just need to do this more often because you guys give me ideas all the time, and most of the time there's a few of them that I can like implement within the next week or two. So I love it. I love it. I got to do it more. Every time I do a live, I say I need to do it more though. So back to Golf Forever. I'm going to reach out to that guy again. My Petaway Life. You get to do a range session. Okay, so the sad reality, my Petaway Life, is that I just don't practice that much. I need to. What I think what I need to do, well, I need to practice, but sometimes if I have a tournament coming up, which I haven't even been playing tournaments, that's really what's going to happen. I'm going to have a tournament coming up, and I'm going to try to prepare for that event. But just regular range sessions, unfortunately, I don't. I don't recommend not practicing because it's not good for your game. But just luckily, I'm able to kind of keep my game in shape without a lot of practice right now. But I think if I practice more, my game will be better. I will say this. Um, I, I kind of wanted to do a video regarding home course advantage, right? Because I don't know if you guys have courses that you play to where you've played there all your life, or you played there a long time and you just know that course and you can play it well. Because the course I play a lot at, I feel like I've been playing her since I was 12 years old. So I feel like I can get away with not practicing and playing there. Like, just as an example, like I said, I played yesterday. So my buddy was in from out of town. We play the first, um, we, we played the first three holes, and I didn't film it. So we get to the fourth hole, and I decide, okay, I'm going to start filming. Now the first three holes, I think I bogeyed 2 out of 3. So just goofing around. Then I turned the camera on, and I told him, I said, now watch, I'm going to start hitting the fairway. I'm going to, and sure enough, the last 9 holes, I made 8 pars and a birdie. Now, that's a very familiar course. I couldn't get away with that. Like, if you guys didn't see my video at Mistwood, watch that video, because that's a course I rarely ever play. It's a hard golf course. It's a lot different. There's a lot of slopes. There's bunkers. That's the type of course, if I play, I have to practice to play well. I want to go out there and play again pretty quickly, or pretty soon. But I had a match with time, and I called it like the massacre at Mistwood because I played so bad there. And the funny thing about that, I was just talking about that video because I ran into a subscriber who said he was going out there to play. So, but anyway, I don't know if I answered any question or anybody's question. So my Petaway Life, I guess I think I answered it. But yeah, I did a video on that, and I can redo it, do another one. But um, my practice, as funny as it sounds, my practice sessions are when I'm filming a video for you guys. That's my practice. Um, I don't even play. That's the only time I really play golf. I've only played one tournament this year, and that's rare. Oh no, I played no, I played 2 tournaments, and that's rare. I want to sign up some more. I want to play at least 10 tournaments before the end of the year, which means I need to start practicing. Um, Jock, do you ever sleep? Jock, no. Jock, no, I do not sleep. I do not sleep. You know, you guys will, you know, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, but I just share. Sometimes I overshare. Um, but if you knew, Jock, the number of times I've got this laptop pad, and if you knew the number of times that I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning with my laptop on my lap from me editing a video, and I fell asleep at some point, you would be like, "This is nuts." but but yes, many times, I don't know. I'd hate to say more often than not, but so often I fall asleep sitting there editing a video. So that's why there may not be a subscriber Sunday tomorrow. And if it is, I'm going to take one of these ideas, one of the quick ones, that I can film in an hour and edit in another 4 or 5 hours, which is still a lot because I do have to work. Um, okay, Bodacious. Yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the golf. I think it's called Golf for Life. Then um, Golf Forever. Not a bad idea. Maybe I could give that one a try because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, are they like $150 or $200, something like that? Hey, Flanker Jack, how's it going? Yeah, Hickory golf match and period close. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, Bodacious. Um, so so my petaway life. So let me get back to this practice thing. So so last summer I tried to do a get better golf series that just didn't pan out. I did like 2 videos. The idea behind the get better golf series was for me to film practicing, giving you guys ideas on how to get better, but at the same time practicing my game. So I was able to practice and film and make content at the same time. And I did like a couple of the videos. So it's just trying to find a way to get that practice in. But this guy I know says, "Oh, you need to go out and play just for yourself and have fun." And I probably do. But even when my buddy came from out of town, from Michigan City, I asked him. I said, "Oh, should I bring the camera?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you better bring the camera." So that's why we ended up playing 3 holes, and then I turned the camera on. Although he was camera shy, didn't want anybody to see his swing. So, and I filmed another video last year when he came in town, and he didn't want anyone to see it. He he's he doesn't want anybody to see his swing then either. I like the Golf Forever system. I like that might be a really really good one to give a try. I like that. And Scotty Scheffler, you're right, he does do it. And I don't know if you guys know, but Scotty Scheffler is not too bad of a golfer. I don't know if you know that. It's pretty decent. Can play even after getting arrested. So does anybody else like that idea that not bodacious, my petaway life? We're talking about practicing. So anybody else interested in that? Because that, I'm just going to be honest. Like I do feel like if I can find a way to integrate improvement with, you know, you're helping your game, entertaining for you. Um, that would be kind of the best of both worlds. Would I or will I, Jock? Would I play them? Yes, I would play. I if I could see myself playing the 3.0. I'm not saying I will, but I could see myself playing. You know, even though even though I'm just being funny with this now, but even though the guy was like hated the golf ball reviews, uh, I I was thinking of doing, you know, and I look to you guys for some advice sometimes with these things, but I was thinking when I did that TaylorMade Tour Response versus the Chrome Soft, I was kind of thinking of a golf ball tier list to where I was working towards what ball was I ultimately going to play um, if I decided to switch balls. But I don't know, you know, I really don't know how interested you guys would be in that. Um, I think I did get a couple comments where the other viewers wanted me to put a couple other balls against each other. And I think that would, I mean, I like that idea. You know, ultimately I could have 8 balls or whatever and head to head, and then we see which ball would be the best, at least for my game. Some review videos on YouTube, so they are probably friendly to content creator reviews. All right. I think we're on to something here. Okay, Bodacious. So I will definitely for certain email or find some contact information for Golf Forever and reach out to them and see what happens. And maybe I can get that system. I don't even know about it enough to know like what promises or that they make, but I could test it out and see if it works. Yeah, yeah. My Petaway life, it is. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it gets me out there playing. You know, filming content, whether it be a ball review, a golf vlog, matches. I feel like I'm probably going to get more from a match than hitting golf balls. Jock, I don't know. I don't know, Jock, about that one. Like I said, I'm. You're gonna see the what's in the bag. There's some changes in the bag. That's gonna be coming in a week or two, and I'm seriously considering changing ball. So that's why I'm thinking about doing the tier TaylorMade Tour Response versus Chrome Soft, just like that. Put a couple other balls against each other. Maybe put Strixon Z Star versus um, what was I thinking? What would be a good one? Titleist Pro V1. You know, just put some against each other and see what it ends up being. Okay, Bradley, I got you. Yeah, Jock, and maybe in the end it might end up being Strixon, you know. But I don't have any allegiance to any ball. Um, you know, they don't. I mean, it's not like they pay me or anything. So I have played it for a long time, but I'm thinking it would be entertaining and it would be a good to find out what's the best ball for me. No, I do know it's marginal. Like the differences are marginal. Like you saw in the snail, those you're not big differences between those three balls. But find something you like, find something you trust, and stick with that at least throughout the season. Yeah, Brian, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I'm hoping, again, I'm hoping it's entertaining. I'm hoping you find some value in it. I try to give some tips and some strategy tips and some mental game tips and reviews and just things that I've learned through the years or things that I know or things that I find out that I think can help you. That's just what I try to do, and I try to obviously entertain you. You don't want to hear a lecture either. So okay, I missed somebody. I remember now. Who said, "Are you still on the chat now?" Somebody asked me way a long time ago. It's hard to keep up with everything, but somebody asked me about 11 woods or something like that. I'm going back trying to look. I can't see it. Okay, who? If you ask me about 11, are you still on 11? What is it called? 11, 11 irons or something like that? You're still on? Okay, well, single leaf irons. My petaway life. I know I reached out to some company that does a single length irons, and I haven't heard back from them. And whoever asked about 11 wood, gosh, what is that company's name? I reached out to that company and they were going to send, it was strange, but I was still going to do the video. They were going to send me like a half a set, basically. I'm trying to find the name of the company now. 11 11 Golf. That's the name of the company. So that's the company that makes a full set of hybrids. And I reached out to them. They were going to send me a half set, and they asked for my address. I gave them everything, and that was like late April. So I emailed them again a week ago, and I haven't got a response. So I don't know if they're sending it or not, or well, it doesn't look like they're sending it. My single length irons, that was another company. I didn't get a response from that. Midnight Munchies. I'm probably going to eat some Captain Crunch in a little bit, John Adams. Although, I mean, Fruity Pebbles is one of my favorites. Maybe I can get a sponsorship for Fruity Pebbles. Jock, the triad was, there you go. That's a good one to put it against. Um, Even though it's Wilson, even though it's Wilson, the triad was a good ball. It was. I feel like that was one of my favorite balls that I've tested off the top of my head. And I was surprised when I did that, the tour response versus the Chrome Soft. I really, even though the tour response is like a little bit less expensive than the Chrome Soft, I still thought when I originally did the test on the tour response, I thought I was going to like that ball better than the Chrome Soft, but um, didn't work out that way. But the Triad was one of my favorite balls. Thanks, Jock. I appreciate that because the matches um, are tough to do too many of those, but I try to get, if I can get one or two matches a month. Those come out on Mondays. I feel like you know that's pretty good because it's kind of tough to get everybody together. Now, hopefully, I'll have some tournaments because I mentioned earlier that I found out, I should have known already, but I found out it's this device that you can like clamp onto your push cart and attach your camera, or there's like rubber legs you can like wrap around your push cart or a regular cart, and that's going to make it a lot easier for me to film a tournament or just to catch around if I go to a golf course to where I don't have to deal with a tripod, if there's people out there. Um, so there will be more matches or more vlogs at different golf courses as a result of me finding this product. The only thing is, let's say if I'm in a cart that day for whatever reason, the tee shots will be from a side view because I can't get a driving cart on the tee box. That would be pretty bad. So 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 then it wouldn't be any shot tracers on the drives on some of those. It'll just be a side angle. But I think they do the single length irons. I think most of them are like 6 iron length. 11 is there with tour edge. Seasoned golfer, the Legato ball on Amazon. Somebody else was asking about the Legato ball in a comment, and I emailed him. I said 7 iron length. Okay. Somebody said about the Legato ball, and I said that I emailed. I think I emailed or I direct messaged Legato, and I didn't get a response out of them. Some companies respond to me, some don't. You guys can just imagine. I've probably done 60 golf ball reviews, uh, so it gets a little pricey, if I'm buying 60 dozen golf balls. Um, so I try to email the company and see if they'll at least send me a dozen golf balls. Some of them do, some of them do, some of them don't. Like I said, Snail sent me a dozen of, actually sent me a dozen of each balls, and then they sent me an extra dozen of the 3.0 because they sent them in white and in yellow. That was you, Bodacious. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So somebody, what else? There was another ball. There was another ball in the comments. I forgot. It was a ball from man. It was a different golf ball. They wanted they wanted me to test, and I can't remember. Why can't I remember this golf ball? If you ask me to test a certain golf ball, let me know. I'm trying to remember the name of this golf ball. Sorry, guys, I'm looking for it. I ran across the comment of the guy that says, "No more ball reviews, please." Oh, okay. So it was Mike Painter. Mike is actually sending me. He's sending me a dozen of Hanma. I don't know if you guys ever heard this. Hanma D1 golf balls. Hanma D1 golf ball. I don't know if you've ever heard of that ball, but I told him I would probably be able to do that review early July. The Sugar Pure, the rollback balls. I think we get to like 2028, I think, for that, at least. I don't even know if have they even started making it. They haven't made any rollback balls. But someone brought that up earlier, and I talked about how I'm going to, I've already got a plan for a video on the golf ball rollback, even though I'm late to the party on this one. But I have a plan, and it's going to be a video that is going to be, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of research, a lot of editing. So, it's going to take me a little bit to put that together, but I do want to do that video, and it'll be a little bit different than the other videos that I've seen, or a lot different than the other videos that I've seen on the golf ball rollback. Precept. Precept. I haven't seen a precept ball, but yes, I think they make them. Because swear, I think I've seen like a precept ball at Walmart or somewhere. One day I went to Walmart and they had all the balls, like a bunch of balls on like closeout. I should have bought lots of them. Did Walmart buy Precept? I just looked this up. It says Bridgestone Golf Precept Golf Ball. So Bridgestone bought Precept. You ever hear of bigger balls? Bigger balls. I think I saw like this online one day, like on Instagram or something. Bigger balls. Bigger balls. Please don't ask me to do a review on bigger balls. Yeah, my pet away life. I thought about doing that. That was like a big Rick Shields thing. So I didn't think I wanted to. People think I'm copying him. Nike Tour Accuracy. I just got that, bodacious. Oh boy, Brad, you're a trip. Oh man, season golfer. That's funny. Season golfer. I regrip. I do regrip my clubs. I've never reshafted my clubs. Okay, guys. So I'm going to ask you this. I have. I mentioned earlier. There's like a par three challenge tournament coming up, and I haven't even asked Tom, but you guys remember Brian? Some of you may remember Brian from the I think it was Paul Downey Cup, like the two-person scramble I played in, where he was making all the putts, and we ended up second in that. Um, he is playing with a guy who we grew up playing with. Like Brian's 4 years younger than me, so his buddy, they used to come out when we were kids and play, right? So he's playing with him in this par three challenge. He wants me to get um, Tom in this par three challenge, and we play as a foursome together. So it's a regular 18 hole course, but they make all the holes par threes. So, do you guys think I should do that? And do you think that you'd be interested in watching Tom and I play in this par three two person? I think it's a scramble because I think he wants to pair us together. Jumbo grips Bradley. These little hands, I couldn't. I probably couldn't even get my hand around the grip. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Well, guys, before we sign out, do we have, like I kind of told you guys? Well, I did tell you guys that I'm gonna do the what's in the bag soon. That's the game plan within the next week or two. Par three weekly league. Okay, cool. That course that I filmed my birthday special video on, they have a tournament there, par three tournament that I've played in the past. I haven't played in the last few years, and I'll look at the schedule. Maybe I can play in that. Um, it's actually kind of a surprising tournament because it's a par three tournament, like 18 holes over 2 days, and they get some really good players in it, and it's amazing because if you saw the video, like the longest hole only plays like 160 yards, and they get some one guy that played like won the state open or state amateur. They get like it's pros and amateurs. I mean, you got to really play. One year I shot like for the 36 holes, I think I was like 3 or 4 under, and that was the best I did. And I ended up like, I think, fourth place that year. Nope, nope, all par threes. If you're talking about Ziegfeld and Woodridge, that on the birthday special video, John, yeah, that was all par threes. There's a couple other short courses that I played on the channel where there were a couple par fours, like at Frankfurt Square. They have two par fours, or yeah, two par fours, and then Boughton Ridge has a bunch of par fours. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Bradley, it's funny. I was just talking about it. Like you look at the ball speed. I'm watching guys hit onto par threes with like 5 irons and 6 irons with like 140 mile per hour ball speed, and I'm like when I was doing like speed training last winter and lifting weights, like the max ball speed I think I got to was like 141. Like that was like the maximum, the fastest that I could get. And now I'm at 130. And they're hitting like 6 irons with 140 ball speed. It's crazy. Hey Bradley, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I think I mentioned it in mental game video. So in my qualifier, which I was going to do a video on uh, the results of it, and I didn't. I still can talk about it, but I played with a guy. Like the third guy was like a no show, so it was just a twosome, and I played with this guy Bradley. The worst drive he hit. Yeah, I seen that video. It's crazy. The worst drive this guy hit all day, and I flushed it. He was because I shot the distance. He was 69 yards past me. That was his worst drive all day. And one hole, he outdrove me by 143 yards. He outdrove me by 143 yards on a hole where I hit a pretty good drive. I'm like, this it's crazy. But Tom and I were talking about it. Like we play this other tour where it's like not even like these guys aren't even like that guy was a scratch golfer. He was scratch, at least scratch. He might be like a +1 or two maybe. But we play this other tour where guys that are like fives and six and seven handicaps are outdriving us by 100 yards. 100 yards, a seven handicap. It's like, it's just absurd. It's just absurd how far some people are hitting the ball. Now, and it's a lot of people. I don't know where the stats come from because the stats say that a scratch golfer hits at 251 yards. And Tom and I talk about that. I'm like, where are these stats coming from? because we keep playing with people that are hitting it like, just obscene distances, and some of them are young, and then some of them aren't young. Like to play with the guy, I mean, I played a tournament. Guy was like 63, 64, and he was out drawing me by like 65, 70 yards all day. It's just nuts. But anyway, I'm rambling now. Yeah, John, man, I thought about going out there and filming some of that. Last year I filmed the 18th hole. Yeah, Bradley, it's amazing. It's amazing. And again, when it's a like I'm saying, like when it's a guy that has a 6 or 7 handicap, I'm looking at it, and but then I ultimately play with them, and you play hole after hole after hole, and you can see why. Like you can see the mistakes that they make, um, that causes them to to do that. But a hole where you're hitting, where I'm hitting driver, and laying up with a 4 hybrid, and then hitting a 9 iron into the green, and this guy's hitting driver and iron second shot into the green, and it's like on a par 5. It's like, how is he doing? How? Then you added the score at the end and you beat him. But again, that's a different. That's a 7 handicap. That's not the scratch golfer that's doing that. The +1 that's doing that. He can play. He can do it all. But I was going to talk about this if I did the video. I did find it interesting. The guy that I play, if I did my pinpoint stats, and like I talked earlier, the driving on a few holes um, really like alerted me that I had a little problem, and I made a change, and I've been driving it better ever since. But I looked at that, and I lost like 4 strokes driving to I think a 1 handicap. So my driving cost me a bunch, and then my approach game cost me some that day. My putting and my short game was okay still, I think. Um, but I was looking at that, and I'm like, if I lose 4 strokes to a 1 handicap driving, that guy must gain 4 strokes to a 1 handicap driving. I mean, for him to be hitting it, 310, 320, 330 all day in the fairway most of the time. But the point I was making is that I beat him on the par threes, even though the par threes, like the one I'm hitting, I had to hit a 5 wood. He's probably hitting like a 6 iron. The other one I hit, the short one, I hit a 7 iron. He had to hit a wedge, but I beat him on the par threes. It's just kind of mind boggling. Yeah, Bradley, no doubt about it. And perspective, right? You have to have proper perspective because, you know, it's amazing when you think about it. But when I'm out there playing, I'm not really thinking about it too much. Um, when I'm playing my game, the way I think about it is if I can get close to the front edge of the green, then I can make a par on the hole, right? So, let's say I'm under what conditions I may be hitting the driver 210 or 215. Under dry conditions, I may hit it 230 or 235. Well, if I hit a 215-yard drive and I've got, 200 yards to the middle of the green, that means I've got 180 to the front of the green. Um, so I can still make a par on that hole. I mean, it's just if there's water around or if there's bunkers, it becomes a little more problematic. But bunkers that I have to carry. But if you just keep making pars, you're going to beat most people, right? I don't care how far they hit the ball. If you keep making pars, par, and I don't want to keep repeating, the same thing. But when I look back at when I qualified for that Illinois Open, I made 18 pars. It didn't matter. The guy I was playing with was hitting at 90 yards past me. It didn't matter because I just kept par, you know. And if you can do that, the rest of it doesn't matter. And even at my distance, I'm capable of doing that. I'm not saying I do it all the time, but I'm capable of doing it at least. Um, you know, holes that are 420, 430, you can still do it. So it just depends on when it gets longer than that. Scott, it's funny, Scott, because it seems like there's quite a few people that when they first watch my videos, they notice that, and like it's every live somebody mentions it and asks me about it. Um, but the truth is that I never knew I did that until people in these lives or in the comments and videos started telling me that. I never knew that I had any little bounce before my swing. Um, so I don't know when I started doing it because, and the funny thing is, you guys have mentioned it, but no one that I've ever golfed with has ever said a word about it. Like no one has asked me, "Hey, why do you bounce?" or "What's that little bounce you do?" No one has ever said anything until you guys in the comment section and on these lives. So that's the long version. I find it funny that no one has ever said that to me. Um, so that means I have no idea how long I've been doing it. So sorry, Scott. But that's all I got. That's all I had. That's all I had. I don't know what it does. I had a viewer at one point, and sometimes you get um, some trolls sometime, and sometimes people that just think they know better. Um, Said that little bounce was costing me um, uh, distance. So if I didn't bounce, I would hit it further. So what did I do? I didn't make a video on it, but I went out and intentionally tried not to bounce and see if this guy was right that it was costing me distance. And it probably doesn't surprise you guys that it wasn't costing me any distance to do that. Right, exactly, Scott. Thank you, John. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep, you got it. You got it. Never stand still. My laptop came unplugged. So, guys, let me plug this in. You know your distances? Yes. Yes, I do. I do. The simulator helps, the swing caddy helps, um, the pinpoint app helps. There's a lot of things that help, but I've always been a big proponent of knowing how far you hit the golf ball. And it could be pretty easy. It could be easy as in looking at ball marks, seeing where the balls land, um, you know, obviously shooting the distance to know how far out you are. Knowing that, knowing your carry distance, knowing a range of carry distances that you can hit it is very important. Yeah, I need to do another one of those, Bradley. I do need to do another one of those. Um, you know, well, just it, partly because of the clubs. We talked about doing a what's in the bag, so it's time to update distances when you change clubs. But I know right now, like it's important to know when you flush a ball, how far it's going to go. And thank you very much, my Petaway Life. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, when you flush a ball, how far it's going to go, and when you miss hit it, how far it's going to go, right? Um, I can tell you right now, like, say if I take a 7-iron out and I flush it, it's probably going to carry like 152, like max, like just all out, flushed it, good weather conditions. That's the max it's going to go. If I hit it an average one, it's going to go like 143, like an average one. If I miss hit it, it's going to go like 137, 138. So knowing those distances are important because, like, if you have to carry water, you have to carry a bunker. Like, I know, okay, I've got 134 to carry the lip of this bunker. I know if I hit 7-iron, I'm safe because if I miss hit it, I'm going to clear the bunker, right? Well, Scott, this answer, I'll just answer the only way I know how. Um, my story is a little different because I started when I was young, and I started golfing. Really, I would say seriously, my freshman year of high school is when I really started playing golf. So my freshman year of high school, um, I was probably worse than a double bogey golfer. I was the worst player on the freshman team. So I would play for 9 holes. I would shoot like 55, 60. I was shooting at low 60s for 9 holes. Um, so that was my freshman year. The summer before my sophomore year of high school, I just played golf and practiced golf, mainly played golf all day long from like 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I used to ride my bike like 5 miles to the golf course with my golf clubs on my shoulder, and I would just play all day and then ride my bike home in the dark. Um, and I went from being the worst player on the freshman team to being the MVP, most valuable player on the varsity team my sophomore year. So I went from shooting, 60 for 9 holes to shooting in the 30s for 9 holes. Um, so that story's a little different. And even then, I got a guy who, I got my high school teammates. Even then, like they would tease me about the short hitter thing. They said, "Oh, Kurt, he's like a grandma." They would call me a grandma because I would just hit it in the fairway and then hit it up to the green or short of the green and chip it up and that's the way I play golf. So a little different story there, um, but but that's my story, right? So your story is obviously going to be different. You know, to go into, and almost planned on, I kind of planned on doing a video about my story because there's a lot to it. And there may be some people that are interested in it, but when I'll just say the condensed version of that, like the reason from my freshman year to my sophomore year, I played golf every day. And I'll just say that it helped me in a number of ways, including that's when some of my friends, when I was young, started getting in trouble, right? And that kept me away from the trouble. I was in the golf course by myself, walking for 12 hours, and I was away from all the trouble. I was by myself. And I met a lot of people. It's amazing. People like years later, um, people would tell me that I joined up with them when I was out there when I was a kid, and I was telling them how I was going to play in college, so on and so forth. And my first job out of college, that exact story I just said happened. To where after the interview, the guy said he remembered me as a kid joining his group, playing with him, and his son remembered playing with me too. So um, I'm rambling about stuff that probably not too interesting right now. Um, make your putts, practice 150 and stay out of trees. Hit what keeps you in play. All sound advice, Bradley. That sounds like something MSH might say. Make your putts, practice 150 and stay out of trees. Hit what keeps you in play. That's it. That's it. So I do want to do some more. Obviously, I'm going to do more videos, mental game and strategy. You can never talk about strategy enough. But so keep it in play, right? You're looking at first out of bounds. Out of bounds is a no-no, right? That's the worst. Second is hazards. You know, if you're in the water hazard, those are penalty strokes. So that would be second. And then third would be bunkers. You probably want to keep it out of fairway bunkers, but that's not the end of the world to hit it in a fairway bunker. But that's like the fairway bunker, unless your course has high fescue grass. That's going to be worse than a fairway bunker. Um, so bunkers, then rough, right? And that's it. So you got those levels, you know. So now sometimes you're making a decision, and rough isn't always bad depending upon the course. But if you have a course where you have OB on this side, water on this side, and you have rough on this side, well, obviously you want to hit it in the rough, right? So you're always planning those amongst those decisions as it pertains to keeping the ball in play. And look at this. Here's what people do too often too is you have a hole that, let's say you say you're trying to go from double bogey to bogey golf. Okay. So what's and this kind of goes to kind of what Bradley was saying too, is what kind of sense does it make if you have a hole, say a par four that's got out of bounds over here and water over here, and it's 400-yard hole. If you're trying to transition from double bogey to bogey golf, you've got trouble on both sides there. What kind of sense does that make to hit driver on that hole, unless you're, straighter than everybody? Um, what kind of sense does it to make driver? Because that's a bogey hole for you anyway. So you want to take all of that trouble out of play, especially when you have trouble on both sides, and just play the hole for a bogey. Play the hole for a bogey. Hit a hybrid. Especially if there's something you can hit short of that water. But hit a hybrid off the tee, 5 hybrid. Hit something down there 170 yards. Then hit something 130 yards, 140 yards. Leave yourself a 90-yard shot into the green. Hit it on the green. Try to hit it on the green and make bogey. You may make a par. You may end up making double bogey anyway. But if you hit it out of bounds, or if you hit it in the water, you're kind of making bogey at best now. And you want to take that out of play for sure. And you can make sixes or sevens, you start hitting the ball out of bounds. So the point with that is certain holes, you're trying to go from double bogey to bogey. Double bogey isn't a bad score. So you're playing that hole for a bogey. You may still make a double, but it's not the end of the world. Scott Holbert, what's your score difference, summer versus winter? Um, I really don't have much of a difference summer to winter. To be honest, I don't know if it is different. Sometimes I play my best golf in the winter. I don't know why, but I'm in Illinois, so there's times it's been less frequently, but there's quite a few times during the winter where you can't play. It used to be we couldn't play in the winter, um, but well, yeah, it's not that much of a difference. Um, Obviously, the ground gets a little bit soggy, makes the courses a little bit longer, but it's not that much of a difference. The other part about it is because the courses are wet. A lot of times the ball's not releasing. It's you're not going to roll into trouble. So there's good and bad to it. 3.4 miles. Okay, there you go, Scott. I love it. Yeah, season golfer. It is tough. Tournament golf is it is a different animal. I've got a buddy I play with on occasion, and he's one of those guys that I don't know. You just write down what he tells you he shot. If you made a five, you say made a five. You write a five down. So, so he'll always shoot 84, 85 when he's not playing with me. Um, and we played in a tournament a couple times, just the best ball, but not a scramble, but a legitimate best ball, to where he was playing his own ball, and it didn't really help our team score. And I am certain he hasn't broke 100. So tournament golf is different. It's for someone who hasn't, if someone hasn't played like you've played it, so but for someone who hasn't played tournament golf, they don't even really understand how different it is. I see so many guys who are like six handicaps, and on courses that aren't even extremely tough, they shoot 90, they shoot 92 in a tournament. 88s, 94. Like I've seen it all from a six handicap. And I'm talking about a six handicap that's hitting the ball 300 plus yards. Um, so if you haven't played in the golf tournament, um, you just don't even understand how different it is. I've rarely seen someone who, unless they play in a lot of tournaments, um, who just goes in tournaments and just lights it up. Or those are like elite golfers. For me, my goal always, if I play a tournament, um, I consider like a really good round of tournament if I could shoot par or better, which it's not happened too often. But when I say par or better in a golf tournament, like it means something to me. Like that's like you really played, um, and it's just not easy to do. Strategy summer versus strategy winter. That's just basically looking at the conditions. You know, if you got a course that's wet, you're going to play it differently. Um, Recognizing um, I think I might have did a video playing in the winter time. like a strategy video. So recognizing that sometimes if the course is wet, your landing areas are wider. So there may be certain holes to where you can hit driver that you couldn't hit in the summertime because you either ran out of fairway or a ball hit offline. It's going to roll more because it's drier. So little things like that. Um, you can attack, maybe go for shots you couldn't go for before. Try to, if you're a long hitter, you maybe try to carry a bunker versus laying up because the ball would roll off the back. Really just things that are like condition based. Um, the only other strategy I would say is like I said in that winter video, is making sure you're dressed for it. Dress for it. Like that's the biggest thing, is to keep warm, keep your body warm. I did one video on the review of that heated vest, and I've always wanted one. And I would say, if you play in cold weather, get yourself a heated vest. Bradley, isn't it so different? Like, it's just like you really think, like, I'm gonna say this. I mean, sometimes somebody will say something in the video, and like I said, I have home course advantage when I'm playing a home course. I almost feel like also it's short, it's fatiguing. Maybe we're all getting older, so it's fatiguing. So if I go out and film a golf ball review and I'm playing 4 or 5 holes with a golf ball, like, it's easy to be like on your game, like for 4 holes or 5 holes, or even 9 holes. But to focus in a tournament, when things slow down, you have to think about strategy. You're playing a different course, and play it slow. Because when I go out and film, I'm always, for the most part, I'm playing at a downtime where I can just go out and do my thing. But when you have to wait 5 or 7 minutes between shots because you have a slow group in front of you and you lose your rhythm, like, all of those things are things that are different and fatiguing versus just going out and playing golf. Well, Scott, looking at that, number one is a 3 and 4 putts. I think Bradley would agree with that. Number one is 3 and 4 putts, because those are things I mean, I feel like it's easier to correct short game mistakes, improve your short game faster than your full swing. So the first thing I would do is cut down to 3 or 4 putts. Work on that, which could be working on your whole short game, because maybe you're hitting bad chips. If you're duffing chip shots and leaving them barely on the green, now you got a 40-foot putt, 50-foot putt. Um, that's going to be a problem. I will do a lag video. Somebody else mentioned that. I will do a lag putting video soon. But yes, you have to cut down on those putts. You have to cut down on those putts. The reality is, the the less greens you hit, you should have less putts, right? Somebody that's hitting, if I go out and hit 14 greens of regulation, I'm going to have a lot longer putts because I'm hitting long shots into greens. But if you miss a green and you're chipping, you theoretically should have shorter putts, so you should have less putts. So there's no doubt something's off with the short game, and definitely with the putting if you've got 3 putts and 4 putts. So work on that. It sounds like you could take off eight shots, I'm gonna guess, working on your short game for a few weeks. Bodacious, I tend to take it to the clubhouse, um, because a lot of times people don't know where they left it. So I would probably take it to the clubhouse. I would also tell, tell somebody if there's a player assistant or ranger. Yeah, my petaway life. I'm about to tune out here pretty quickly. Um, I was gonna just do a short live to get some ideas, but you guys always keep me going, and I mean, I love doing these lives. I got to do more of them. They're all great, man. They're all great. So I appreciate you, and sometimes I get on live and like I want to do it until I fall asleep or till you guys all tune out. So, but it's gonna be not very long. We're gonna be ending it up. So I'm just looking to see if you guys. Well, thank you, my petaway life. Have a good night, buddy, and I appreciate you watching the videos, man. You guys are the best. I just want to say that. Um, and this, thanks, John. I appreciate you, man. This stuff isn't no no body break rally. Surprisingly enough, like I mean, this doing this is not. I wouldn't be able to keep doing it, man, without the support of you guys. I mean, you guys keep me going. There's so many positive comments all the time, man. And some of you have been there so long. Like I know Bradley's in this live. Bradley's been watching this channel so long, man. And it's just like I just had to keep. I mean, I just keep going because I'm telling you, every time I get down about some comment or some video that didn't do as well as I thought it would do, there's one of you guys in the comment section like telling me how much you appreciate that video or how much you enjoy the channel or something that gets me going again. Like it's the same thing when the guy, and I don't want to keep harping on the same subject, but it's the same thing when the guy told me in the comment, no more ball reviews. No more ball reviews, please. And he said it like in two different videos to stop doing ball reviews. And like right after that, I had some of you guys telling me how you appreciated me doing the comparison of the snail because you're trying to decide between these two balls, so on and so forth. Or just telling me that you enjoy the video, right? Um, that's a long way of saying thank you. Thank you. Practice swinging. Man, you got it, man. You got it, Scott. Like, for life, like, you got like one practice swing. Two practice swings is a lot. Two practice swings is a lot. If you're taking more than two practice swings, you're doing something wrong. Like, you can't take three practice swings. Please don't take three practice swings. If anybody is watching still that takes three practice swings, don't take three practice swings. No. And if you take two practice swings, try to maybe cut it down to one. But I get two sometimes. Now I'm talking about full shots, like short shots around the green. They take a little bit more feel, so you have to really kind of feel that shot. But a regular shot from the fairway, don't take three practice swings. I watched a guy take like seven practice swings one time. It was just nuts. Yeah, right, Scott. You don't need all that. Like, um, like when it's your turn to hit, when it's your turn to hit, it's got to be less than 40 seconds when it's your turn to hit. 40 seconds is kind of a lot, but when it's your turn to hit, less than 40 seconds. And I have a video on slow play that'll be coming up soon. Gets tired from me taking too many practice swings. Good night, my Petaway life buddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bodacious. Oh man, you guys are awesome. I get it. Edwin Mendez Rodriguez, any recommendation on playing with people who are better than you? That's a good question because there are people. I think many times the people that are like if you're not as good, you get self-conscious, and the better player most of the time isn't like concerned or thinking about the shot that you just hit, whether you hit it bad or whether you hit it good. Like they're concerned with your golf etiquette and your golf pace. Okay. So if you're playing, like let's say you were playing with me, if you watch the golf etiquette video, if you haven't, right? I gave 20 tips on golf etiquette. You follow the golf etiquette tips, okay, within reason. Now, you have certain people that are more sticklers than others. Like for me, if you make a mistake and like walk on my lot, like it's not, I don't really care. We're not playing a golf tournament, but just try to be courteous and keep pace. Like we just mentioned, you get to your ball, 30 seconds, 40 seconds max, hit the ball. Don't take 3 practice swings. Don't take 4 practice swings. You have to be prepared to hit. So if you're putting, I only look at the putt from one line, one side generally. If I am going to check it from the other side, I'll do that while the other player is putting and not moving while they're putting. But just be ready to hit, play at a good pace, and follow golf etiquette. Like that's the best I can say. If you're not playing for anything, if it's not a term or anything, same thing with pace is don't look for a lost ball for in the rules of golf now you get 3 minutes to look for a lost ball. So don't sit around looking for a lost ball for 6 minutes if it's not the end of the world. Those are some tips I think that are good because I've played with golfers. I played with golfers in tournaments I played with a guy in a tournament where it was like we were looking for his ball every hole. Now that's a tournament, so he's going to look for it. He's going to, But if you're not playing a tournament, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend looking for a golf ball for 5 or 6 minutes all the time. So, do those tips make sense, Edwin? Golf etiquette important. Don't move around while they're hitting. Don't make noise. Stuff like that. So basically, you're just not bothering them. Pay attention to what they're doing because you may learn something from them also. Yep, you got it. You got it, Scott. Yep, seasoned golfer. I got that. That is, yeah, that's in plan. I planned on doing it, but like I mentioned earlier in live, like I had some issues with it was so much rain that we weren't able to get. There was lots of days where courses didn't have carts, so that held back the slow play video. One of the tours I mentioned earlier, one of the tours that I play on, They wanted me to do a video on slow play for their membership. So, so I hope we get that done, hopefully within the next few weeks. If I do it on a Sunday, I'm gonna say it's for seasoned golfers. And Edwin, that's not a bad idea though. What you just said, I can make a good video on that on how to play with better players. Edwin, I'm glad I stayed on the live, Edwin, because that's actually a really, really good video idea. Yeah, you got it. I hope those tips I hope those tips helped. It could be tough. It could be tough when you're because then you start to feel like you're rushing. Um, and if they're better than you, they're probably hitting it further than you. So then you're probably always the first one to hit in the fairway or in the rough. So you're getting to your ball first. You could definitely feel rushed. So just you got to do your best to be in the best position you could be in. I have never, I have never done that, Ivan, not yet. I think someone asked me in a comment one time, or maybe a couple times, and that's something that I may do at some point. I got a cousin named Ivan. Actually, I was named after him. He's older than me. His middle name was Kirk. His middle name was Mr. Shorty. All right, seasoned golfer, you got it, buddy. Appreciate it. I was about to sign out too, and then I got a couple great video ideas. I think it's concluded that may not be, there probably won't be a subscriber Sunday tomorrow. Tomorrow I will work on the Monday's golf vlog. Just trying to decide which vlog I'll do for Monday. But I don't think I'll do a subscriber Sunday tomorrow. So guys, but I may surprise you still with a short, quick one. So guys, do you guys have any other video ideas? Any other video ideas, videos you guys want to see? I don't know if Petaway Life, I don't know if you're still here or not. I think you left. Oh, yeah, you left. I remember. Three-man scramble to attack the course record. That's a good video. That's a good idea. I like that. Scott. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. How many golfers does it take? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's an interesting one because it could be depending on the course, depending on what the course record is. Um, like there's a course in my area that I filmed on a couple of times. I filmed at Inwood a few times, and I think the course record out there is I think it's 62. I think it's 62. Now I'm going back a few years. I mean, I shot a 65 out there. That's an interesting one because course record is 62. Now Brian and I had a played in a two-man out there last year, and we shot 7 under. We shot 64. So yeah, two or three man at that course. That's interesting, but I like that. I like that concept, Scott. That's a really good concept. I'm going to definitely definitely do that video. Definitely do that video. What's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? I've been on this live, and I'm getting some great ideas. Scott just gave me another good one. Um, that one gave me a good one. Just an awesome video idea. Scott just gave me an awesome video idea. Um, my Petaway Life was on earlier. Uh, Audacious, Bradley. Everybody gave me some good ideas. It's like these these lives give me fresh ideas, more inspiration. I think I need to do this a little more often because every time I come with like a renewed vigor. How about that? To make some new content and also to know that I'm doing what you guys want to see. Hawaii, awesome. Man, I'm telling you, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? In case you guys are wondering, I'm sitting writing all of these ideas down. Yep, and once you get frustrated, it's a kind of a spiral. I'm guessing it's pretty high, Paul. You won't be to check it out. It must be high. I'm gonna take a I'm just gonna take a wild guess. Like Hawaii. I would love to go, but I just kind of doubt I'll ever end up in Hawaii. Exactly. Yeah, no doubt about it, Scott. Yeah, you do get confident when you know you got a partner that can back you up. I'm 38. Oh yeah, no, you were saying, Scott. You're saying about a three-man scramble to try to beat the course record. Series on getting longer. Yeah. Oh no, I wrote that one down, Scott. Yeah, Paul. Last winter we did was the last one or the prior one? I did a super speed series. I tried to redo it this past winter, but I only did a few videos. But there's probably about 13 videos on my channel, maybe about 10 videos on my channel on speed training and also some fitness videos. Um, but I have some ideas now because I think I should try to pick up some speed again because I lost the speed that I had. So I went back down to about 90, 89, 90 miles per hour. Carry distance went from when I was doing speed training, I was pretty much getting up to about 225 carry and getting so the total distance was getting close to 245 or so. And now I'm back down to about 210 carry and 230. So I'm going to write that down, Paul, and see if I can get longer by the end of the year. All right, guys. So just like always, every time we do these lives, I get tons of ideas. I'll write this down. My June 1st live. I've got 30 ideas in this notebook right now. Scott, the funny thing is, you know, we all feel in golf like we know it's like different levels, but Tom even, and you guys know how good Tom is. Like he will even say like he may not want to film because or play because he's not ready because his game isn't up to par. He's not hitting it well. Like you don't even think that, um, but you know everybody struggles. Everybody struggles with their game from time to time, and as golfers, I almost feel like unless you're just playing, even the people that say they're just playing to have fun, they still um, get frustrated when they hit bad shots. So it's just the nature of the game. You're always trying to improve. You're always trying to get better, um, and you're just I don't know. It's hard to be content with in golf. I feel like right now. All right, there, Paul. Take care, man. I appreciate the ideas and the getting longer series. I think that could be a good one. I got it written down. Thank you. Um, so everybody struggles with their game, and it's just a matter of that's where that short game we talk about short game, working on short game, putting, so on and so forth. That's where all that comes because you guys watched like you may have seen a video, the last video that I filmed with Paul. Like I hit the ball horribly, and I ended up shooting even par because I was getting up and down, and my short game was good. So, um, well, guys, any last minute ideas before we finish this live? Yeah, Scott. It sounds like there may be some strategic errors being made there. Well, what kind of I don't know. Is there a certain kind of obvious mistake he's making? Well, all I can say, Scott, is I know golf isn't an easy game because I got the same buddy in my mind. I keep saying, but I got it. I've been playing with guy for 30 years, and you're talking about obvious mistakes. He makes obvious mistakes still, and you you know, and he doesn't listen. So he doesn't listen to what I tell him. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's just not an easy game. You'll have players that are like higher handicappers trying to hit flop shots when they shouldn't, or instead of just getting the ball on the ground and taking an easy chip shot, or like you see me putting with the hybrid sometimes, like keeping the ball on the ground, um, playing away from trouble, things like that. No, like I said, it's probably just strategic errors. Taking the wrong club, aiming in the wrong place. Simple things like that. Yeah, well, that kind of stuff, Scott, is tough. That kind of stuff, you do have to talk about after the round, most likely, unless there's nobody around, because you don't want to hold up play thinking about it. Yeah, I get it. I've seen that. I've seen players that do that. So maybe if you get time, maybe you need to film one of his swings when he's out there, if he lets you. Oh yeah, well, there's nothing you can do. Don't even try it, then Scott. Give up. If he gets furious, all right, guys. Well, we're hitting the 3 hour mark. So he is now 2 years ago. Well, you just said you said it all there, though. You just said it all, Scott. You made an effort to improve, and I'm guessing that means he hasn't made the same effort. So if he hasn't made that same effort, then you can. Let me say this, Scott, before you go. Um, I mentioned earlier my buddy. Remember, I've got a guy I've been playing with golf with for over 30 years. I appreciate it. Remember, I just want to say this real quick. So remember, I got a guy I mentioned I've been playing golf with for over 30 years. His golf game has been the same for those over 30 years. He doesn't listen. He doesn't work on his game. He won't, like, I talk strategy. He doesn't, none of that. So, so people have to want to get better. People have to want to improve, or there's nothing you can do for him. So don't like beat your head up over it, because if he wants to get better, you'll start to see the signs that he wants to get better. Um, but just like my buddy, like, he'll get frustrated, and if he says something to me, I say, "Well, when have you ever practiced that shot? How often do you practice? When the last time do you practice?" And he never practices. So don't don't let it get to you until he decides, if he ever decides he wants to get better. Um, he's just going to stay the same. You got to put something. You have to put something into it, into this game to get something out of it, you know. So, like I mentioned earlier in the live, I don't practice. I haven't been able to practice now, but I put a lot of work in before to be able to play the way I play now, and I have a lot of knowledge of the game, so I'm able to know what I'm doing wrong. So, but at some point, you've got to put in the work. Yeah, I got you. I got you. So anyway, Scott, I appreciate you watching. Um, Everybody, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. It's been 3 hours. It's been great. You guys are the best. Scott, you're the best. Keep watching. Mark, I appreciate you, buddy. Um, keep watching the channel. Please, if you see a video you like, just comment, say whatever. I like this video, good video, whatever you want to say. That all helps the algorithm. It helps me be able to keep making this content for you guys, man. Um, I'm loving it. Obviously, I'm loving it. I've been here for 3 hours, and I love talking to you guys. Man, you guys are the best. I may not have a subscriber Sunday because this live and don't have time to edit. I'm going to sleep. Um, but I will have a video on Monday for sure. Tune in, guys. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Mr. Short Hitter out.